The sound of my voice sounds so strange to me.
Yeah, your own voice doesn't sound anything like what you expect it to do. Like,
It doesn't sound like it sounds in my head. Like when I speak, I don't hear that sound.
yeah.
That's it.
Alrighty. So here we go. Starting a little bit late, but session 36 of Masks of Nyarlathotep. So far, people are relatively okay, except for Evelyn and to some extent Miles and Bill and
Luther.
well, Luther retired, and
after he got his arm shriveled.
After he got his arm shriveled, and Salvatore is still fine, just living his life with his wife. And poor
best
poor
off of
Salvatore.
anybody.
Salvatore is the best off of anybody by a long shot.
Because he left.
He knew to get out when the going was good.
Yeah. Totally did.
But you guys are currently in Egypt, tracking down, originally trying to track down the second half of this this mystical ward called the Eye of Light and Darkness. During your investigations here, you discovered that there is an active cult to Nyarlathotep here called the Brotherhood of the Dark Pharaoh. They were up to something. You encountered an ally of sorts, a friend of Dr. Carter's named Dr. Ali Kafour, who seems to be part of some sort of anti-cult organization or anti-cult, who has offered to help you when the time comes for you to cast this ritual, this warding ritual. Folks were concerned that the cult might be up to something at one of the local mosques, the Mosque of Ibn Talan. And it turns out that what they were up to was stealing an artifact. The girdle of the god, or the queen in the Tokris. So you guys are like, well, that's probably bad. We should probably get on this casting this rite. And you made your way towards the red pyramid at the fore, where the ward had originally been placed. Thanks to some keen eyes, you did see a dust cloud indicating that there was a large group of people or vehicles or mounts headed towards the pyramids at Giza, which are about 30 kilometers away from Darfur. They are far enough away that the ward, if you did it at the Red Pyramid, would not encapsulate them. And you decided, okay, well, we can always do the ritual another night. We should see what is going on over there. So you made your way there. and found a secret entrance to a series of tunnels underneath the Sphinx, and decided to investigate. The walls of this particular tunnel are carved with bas relief carvings showing animal-headed people, animals with human limbs, various unidentifiable entities, performing all sorts of cruel and disgusting and obscene activities. And it was enough to cause Evelyn to lose her very tenuous grasp on sanity, believing that having already escaped the Dark Pharaoh, that perhaps her friends were secretly cultists bringing her back to him. So as we pick things up, as you guys are in this tunnel, Evelyn has drawn a gun and is pointing it.
Yep.
I forget, is she pointing it at a specific person, or is she sort of just waving it at us in general?
It's kind of just waving in general.
I mean, she's got two hands on a gun instead of one hand on a cane, so she's probably none too steady.
Lovely.
Evelyn, what are you doing?
You are not sacrificing me. Assuming I get to talk. Do I get to talk, Chris, or are you doing that? Because
No.
I know that she's under your control right at the moment.
No, you can go.
Okay.
Why would you think we would be sacrificing you? We're all in this together to stop this.
That's why you
Miss
brought me
Collin?
down here.
Miss Collin, please calm down and lower that gun. You're gonna hurt someone. We don't want to hurt you. We don't want to hurt anyone. Please calm down.
You can try a psychoanalysis roll.
Oh, good God, does any of us have that?
Yes, I do.
Maybe?
The new guy.
I got the 1%.
She's fine.
Whew.
She's not.
All right. So thankfully, that's an extreme success. So Evelyn, something about Eugene's tenor and kind of calm demeanor kind of gets through the kind of cuts through the paranoia. You're still a little shaky, but you start to kind of come to your senses. Realize, like, you know, if they were cultists, they could have drugged you when you were asleep. There was no need for them to you know, basically have you still awake and lead you to your doom. They could have easily just rendered you unconscious and delivered you to the Dark Pharaoh.
Miss Collins, we really need to stop whatever they're doing. I promise we don't mean you no harm in any way, shape. We all need to be in this together if we want to survive and stop this. Please calm down. Lower that gun before you hurt someone. I'm not going to take it away from you. Just need you to calm down.
Maybe you should. Take it away.
Eugene moves his hand as in like give me motion, but doesn't gesture for it. Like, I don't want to take it from you.
Yeah.
But end it over.
Yeah, Alvin is going to step up and take that gun.
Do I manage to hold it together long enough for him to take the gun, Chris?
You do, because I rolled really low on the number of turns your paranoia lasts.
Okay.
Yeah, Alvin kind of like pockets the gun. He's like, yeah, what do we do now?
We need to know what's happening here. I understand that this is very stressful for everyone. We do not mean to harm you in any way, but we need to know what's happening here. Do you
Right.
think you'll be able to keep it together? Is there anything I can do that would make you more comfortable?
I'm starting to think that I should wait in the car. But I don't know if any of you know enough about what's happening.
I wouldn't be comfortable you being alone. We discussed about splitting up and staying alone. I know that it's a lot to ask to follow us through this, but I think it's the safest. You can close the walk so you don't feel boxed in. Would that help?
Sorry, what?
We need to keep on going. If you close the
Yes.
walk and having no one behind you, will you feel more comfortable not being boxed in? Because I
Now
don't want
that
to leave you alone.
I think so now that I don't have the gun.
We're going to keep you safe.
That's all well and good.
Nobody's safe.
What do we do now?
We
We need
either
to
all
stop them.
go, we need to all go down together there or split the group. But we need to know what's happening here. They're doing something here, and we need to know what it is. And stop it if needs be.
Okay, I'll lead the way, but someone, Evelyn, if you are going to be at our backs, let's just make sure she doesn't make a run for it without anyone else following her.
How fast could I run?
Chris, I push forward.
All right. There we go. Give Gary a flashlight. All right. So you guys continue on down this corridor, and the corridor changes directions frequently. The angles change constantly. Sometimes the passage becomes like as little as like 2 feet across. You kind of have to kind of shimmy sideways through it in single file. Occasionally they do widen out to as much as like 15 feet wide and 15 feet high, but the entire length of it all appears to be constructed. These are
Chris,
not natural tunnels. Yes.
every time it's big enough for us to be all like in one room and not squished together, Alvin does like he counts the heads of everyone to make sure that there are 5 people here. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Make sure that there's the right number of people and the right number of heads.
Right.
Yep. Eventually, we'll have to count A balls, but right now we're going with X.
And I'll get everybody to give me a spot hidden roll.
Is this one of spot hidden rolls that we want to fail, or a spot hidden roll that we want to make?
The answer to that is always yes.
I see nothing.
Oh, and your spot hidden is not the minimum it can be.
No,
I'm
it's
the
not.
I'm the blind bat in the group.
So as you guys continue moving along, and the tunnels go on for a while, that you're pretty sure that they may have looped back at one point. They go deeper into the earth, and then sometimes they also there's an incline. And Alvin and Miles and Gary, you notice that there is a kind of like these jet black roses that kind of form along the border where the wall meets the floor. These jet black roses and vines kind of lining the corridors.
That looks terrifying, and I'm not botanist, I think the term is. But there's no light here, so why is there stuff growing?
Those are not natural flowers, eh?
Look, I'm not the smart one in this group, so can someone tell me what's going on with these flowers?
Flowers?
Viney flowers growing on the wall. There's no light here. This should not work. It should not grow here.
Chris, can I get an occult to know what the magical significance of these flowers would be?
Certainly.
I was going to ask if I could either do an occult or a natural world.
Natural world, certainly.
Chris, didn't you at some point in time describe the dude we killed? I forget his name right now. The Dark Pharaoh as having like some kind of black roses somewhere? I feel like this is not the first time we've heard it.
It's probably not the first time you've heard it. It's come up a fair number of times. Evelyn, with your extreme success, roses generally represent optimism and hope. Black roses signify rebirth.
These are black roses mean rebirth.
Isn't the Dark Pharaoh supposed to have a kid soon?
Of
No,
course,
they're trying to bring back Nitocris.
the wife, and she's already dead for quite some time.
But
I'm sorry. Go on ahead. I'll catch up.
The object of her power, the object contain her power. So if they want to bring her back so she can birth the son of the Dark Pharaoh, it might be the woman that was put in. I do not know how to say this in English, but she was.
Say it in whatever language you're comfortable with.
She is with child. The woman that was with the expedition with the Penyu Foundation. I think from what we know, she's with pregnant. That's the word I was looking for. She might be a vessel for that. So if they adorn her with the object of power of Nitocris, she might become some form of her. So that might be a sign of their whatever they're doing.
Okay. Should we take
I don't know what that
one?
means. If if Evelyn's want to experiment on them, I don't see why we should not let her do that. But that's probably a sign of what's to come.
Should we take one?
I don't know if to what they're connected and what that might imply.
Okay, well, they're not going anywhere, so we can pick one up later. Let's keep going further.
Evelyn, you wanted to experiment on them while we go forward? Let's keep on going.
Yeah.
All right. So Evelyn, are you keeping up with everybody, or?
She's AFK.
She's AFK. Gotcha. All right. So you guys continue on. And it feels like you've been walking now for probably a couple hours. When this absolutely like foul, rotten stench hits you, I am going to need everybody to give me a con roll.
And this comes out of the blue. It doesn't creep up on us. It doesn't like suddenly like say, "Oh, it's starting to smell bad." It just like from one step to the next. Oh my god!
From one step to the next.
Can we? Is that rot? Is that a specific terrible smell?
It is. It's a combination of like rot and musk, and just overall unpleasantness. Despite the strong constitution of just about everybody except for Alvin, despite that, the stench is so overpowering that you guys all need to take some time to kind of empty your stomach contents. It is. It is.
Wait, I
like
failed.
Yep. Everybody failed. It was a hard roll.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, the stench is so overpowering and so cloying in your nostrils. For a brief moment, Alvin, it's almost like that fog creature is back, trying to like force its way down your throat, only this time accompanied by the smell of like months old, like wet garbage and bodily decay. Despite the best efforts of everybody, there's just no way you can keep your stomach contents contained.
Blech.
But as you kind of like, you're putting your hand on the wall to, kind of steady yourself. You notice a couple of things. Now that you're not moving, and now that you're kind of like, some of you just instinctively kind of put your hand on the wall to like steady yourselves. The walls are moving slightly, like in and out. So like a little bit away from your hand, a little bit towards your hand, a little bit away from your hand, a little bit towards your hand, in a very rhythmic sensation.
Are you saying the walls are breathing?
It certainly seems that way. But Alvin can give me a sanity check.
I vomit again, but I make my roll.
So you succeed, so you only lose 1 point of sanity. But yes, the walls do seem to be moving out in a breathing pattern.
Chris,
Yes.
are we in something's throat? Is there wind to accompany this, or it's just
There is no wind.
The stench of this place is absolutely foul. God, what has been dead in here?
I look to see if we tried to get clothes to kind of match the population. Do we have like scarves or like loose clothing that can like wrap around our face to make it slightly not horrifying?
I would imagine so.
I looked to everyone else. Are we still continuing here?
We kind of need to find out what they're doing. A group of people got in. The only other option that we have is go back and try to explore the other entrance where more people got in. I don't know if we'll be able to go on, but we should try.
Okay. Alvin wraps his face and presses on.
I'm gonna do the same. Just gonna raise a scarf on my face and try to not breathe the air by my nose.
So as you guys continue on, eventually the stench does pass, or you become accustomed to it. You're not sure which. And I will get spot hidden rolls.
Are you okay?
Hmm?
Whoever's coughing like that, are you okay?
Oh yeah, it's me. It's fine. I got a blood infection last week, and I'm heavily medicated. And one of the side effects is very dry everything in my respiratory system. So dry cough is a part of my deal right now. Sorry about that.
It's okay. I just hope you get better.
Oh yeah, I have a month to do, and then it should be fine. But sweating blood is a bit too edgy even for me.
So, Alvin, you start to see tracks in the floor, in the dirt and the dust and stuff. Start to see some tracks, human tracks, in the
I
corridor.
hate I hate that you have to specify that, but thank you. So okay, so I get close to those tracks. Where are they heading? Are they near the wall? And how many can I guess on directionality and or number?
That would be a tracking roll.
And I'm going to tell everyone that I found the tracks. Actually, should probably tell Miles. He's the big game hunter, right?
Yep.
So Miles can give me a tracking roll as well.
God damn it! It was a 20, and then it rolled to an 80.
You can't tell how many.
Hey, Eugene is 3 luck away from doing it.
I think I'm gonna spend the luck on that. Just so that we know if we're going the right direction and what we're dealing with a bit.
Yeah, it looks like the corridor you guys are coming up with has basically met up with another corridor coming from elsewhere in this tunnel network. And there's, to Eugene's keen eye, several dozen, if not more.
Yeah, it was a large group. We better start being discreet from now on. There was probably a bunch of them.
And I'll also get everybody to give me listen rolls. So Gary, I'll kind of hold up his hand, saying, "Shh." And then once everybody kind of stops kind of moving around a bit, you can all faintly hear voices. They sound, it's definitely not conversation. It sounds more like a chant.
Okay, Chris, I'm gonna tell everyone to be quiet. I'm gonna sneak ahead, and we're
Okay.
gonna go forward.
I'm gonna try to listen while he's gone to see if I can identify what they're chanting. But I'm gonna let Alvin go for it. But just gonna focus on trying to piece out what they're chanting.
For the love of Christ.
21 luck away.
If I push it, what's the bad thing that can happen?
If you push it, you will alert people as to your presence.
Isn't that what happens if I don't push it? Not to add further repercussions on me. Just
No, not necessarily. Like if you, right now you failed, which means you make some noise. If you push it and fail, you will undoubtedly alert them.
If you fail, you can backtrack and not do it. And if you push on, if you fail, that's for sure that you're.
Exactly.
okay. I'm gonna push forward by turning off my light source,
Okay.
which makes it inherently more risky for me. But I need to understand what's going on out there.
All right.
So I am pushing it. You just roll it again.
If you left click, there'll be an option for push. Oh no!
And I can't luck a push roll, right?
You cannot.
73% is not good enough for 2 rolls in a row, guys.
Damn.
So yeah, so Alvin, you just kind of like sneak ahead. You're like, oh shit! You turn your flashlight off. And you're kind of making your way like in the dark, but you can see up ahead, very very faintly up ahead. You can see that the tunnel seems to branch, and you can see some flickering lights off to the left, where it branches. very, very faint lights. And you're kind of like, doing your best to hug the wall, unable to see anything. And then you bump into something solid.
That does not sound like a wall with your paws.
It does not feel like a wall. You're pretty sure you just walked into somebody. Or something.
I really try to take this as nonchalantly as possible. I'm like, oh, sorry, I'm just trying to get to the ritual.
What language do you say that in?
Espanol. It's the only language that I know that's not English.
Alright. This kind of like hollow sounding, not quite echoey voice says something back to you in a language you don't understand.
Chris, to be clear here, I can't see my nose, right? It's dark.
It is dark.
Okay. Which I assume that as long as they're not a snake person or something crazy like that, they also can't see. This is my play. Except looking at the card that you just put down on the freaking board, and I'm terrified now.
So it says something to you in a language.
Que cosa? And I just kind of like try to scoot by. I don't know. My characters know the trouble it's in. I see Children of the Sphinx, but he does not. So I'm just trying to scooch by and pretend like nothing happened, and I'm just in the wrong place at the wrong time and trying to get to somewhere.
Right. Well, the good news is you do go before it initiative-wise. So you can make a dodge roll, I guess, would be appropriate.
Am I aware, like, again, I can't see anything. Am I aware simply by what's going on that it is hostile to me? Or is there any chance for me to think that my bluff didn't succeed?
You don't know. It said something in the language you don't understand at all. And judging from its voice, Alvin is fairly perceptive. It sounds a fair bit taller than you.
Okay, so I'm going to take a dodge because that's literally what I'm doing. I'm trying to dodge into the darkness anyway.
Yep.
So it makes sense. Guys, if I keep rolling like this, you can just write my character off the adventure.
Why are you doing a Evelyn right now?
Because she's not here and someone needs to do it.
Oh yeah, I guess it works like that. The dice goes to the next player.
You mean the curse? Yeah.
I mean, the dice are cursed and the virtual dice pass to the next player.
All right. So yeah, as you try to dodge around it, you feel it try to grab you, but it fails. So I guess the question is, are you running forward or running backwards?
That's a fantastic question.
Actually, here
Again,
you go. Make a navigate roll.
Are you asking me if I know which way is forward and back?
Yeah, as you kind of like bumped into this thing and then you try to dodge around it and you can't see.
The answer to this is I go that way, Chris.
All right. So yeah, so you go stumbling in the dark. It doesn't sound like anything is following you, as far as you can tell. And you do eventually stumble back towards the group. I gave you a 50-50 chance as to whether you went back to the group or further in.
Yeah, I read that. And okay, so I get back to the group and I say, we've been discovered. When I get back into the light, I'm looking over my shoulder. This thing doesn't just magically appear or anything like that?
No, it does not seem to follow you.
Huh.
I was actively trying to listen to the chant. Did I hear what the Sphinx thingy said?
Make a listen roll.
A good way to settle all this, and a good way for me to fail also. Yeah, didn't.
Yeah, you didn't hear it, and the chanting is so faint and occasionally echoey that you can't make out what they were actually saying. You can definitely hear the chanting though.
It's definitely chanting, but what the fuck they're chanting for?
Okay, Chris. I come back to the group is like there's people in the darkness before the chanting. I don't know if they're guards or anything, but I think that they know that we're here. I'm pretty sure they know that we're here. Chris, I still have no idea that it could have been something otherworldly, right? I just bumped in, dodged, and got out of the way.
You thankfully had your light turned off.
Otherwise, I would have been blessed with more knowledge. Thank you.
Yeah, you do know, judging from where you heard its voice, it's probably about a good head or more taller than you are.
I'm going to let myself think that they just have really big bodyguards and I might have been hunched over while I was sneaking,
Yeah,
as opposed to thinking that it might be 8 feet tall.
yeah. I mean, that makes sense when you crouch, to sneak.
Okay, we can't just flee. How do we handle that? Miles, do you have a input in how we handle someone like that?
I think Miles is AFK.
Okay. I assume you don't know if it was hostile, Alvin?
Did try to grab me.
Maybe we
As I
can knock
said, they
it
know
down.
we're here.
Yeah. We either stop them from warning the other or we leave.
Maybe Miles knows how to sneak past a bunch of guards in pitch black darkness.
I'm not especially sneaky. I am somewhat sneaky, but not particularly.
So we're at an impasse. We can try to go through, or we can go home.
Let's try to go through. We've been too far to just abandon. Let's go together and try to go through.
Okay. Stick close.
So everybody kind of gathers together, starts making their way through the tunnels. And as you go the way that you went previously, Alvin, the chanting is definitely getting louder. You're definitely headed in that direction. And you get to the point where it branches off. So off to the left, you do see some flickering lights, and then straight ahead is just darkness. The tracks that you noticed go straight.
Are they fresher tracks?
They're pretty much the same tracks that you have been following.
Okay.
Okay, so we follow the paths straight forward.
And
Hey, Chris, can we
Yep.
understand the chanting at all?
not at all. And as you kind of get closer and can hear it a little bit more clearly, um, it does not sound like any. It does not sound like any language any of you know. So it's not. It's not like Egyptian or Arabic or Spanish or English or any conventional language that you know.
I'm going to regret asking this, but can we do a Cthulhu Mythos roll?
That you can do.
You are a brave man, sir.
I bravely step forward, or perhaps everyone just step back.
Well,
Oh,
Ah, beans!
well, you don't understand the language necessarily. Some of the wording, some of the words that you pick up are familiar to you. They were definitely in one of the books that you've studied during your time as an investigator. You're pretty sure that language is reference. It's tied to Atlantis somehow. So it is an impossibly old language.
Is Evelyn back yet?
No, not yet.
We're still pushing forward, even we recognize the language or not.
We've come this far.
I think we should.
And I'll get everybody to give me spot hidden rolls. Right. So both Alvin and Miles, as you start to like make your way, kind of following the the tracks, they seem to lead like straight ahead and then down an incline in the tunnel. But that passageway or branch off to your left, where you saw the flickering lights, it seems like it's a very short little corridor, and looks like it opens into a little bit of an alcove. With the hard success, Alvin, it looks like the lights are coming from something below. Like it looks like that alcove overlooks something where the lights are.
Is this a situation kind of like in Temple of Doom where they're kind of looking down into an area?
That's probably what that alcove is.
Okay, perfect. So I'm gonna head to that alcove. I'm gonna have the other ones stay a little bit further behind, not too much behind, but like a step behind, so like that they don't step into view. I'm gonna stealth in and then wave everyone over once I'm sure that the coast is relatively clear.
Okay.
Well, I am gonna do a stealth because my belief is that there's light and then people are gonna start seeing.
Okay.
Hey, I made a roll, guys.
So you kind of like meld into the shadows, and it is definitely an alcove that overlooks a very large area, and that area down below you is lit by some braziers and some sort of swirling blue light.
I wave everyone over to join me. I'm like, what is that?
I try to cram myself in. Try to peek a look.
Right. So as you kind of get up to this alcove and kind of look, kind of peer down. It's a very, very large chamber. You're kind of like overlooking it, not like a balcony, but like a little alcove, looking down into this room. This room is probably about a good 50 feet below you. The ceiling goes above you. There are black pillars that stretch all the way from the floor all the way up to the ceiling. The floor looks to be like flecked, black marble flecked with white. There are a large number of cultists. Basically, each one of those cultist tokens represents like 5 to 10 cultists.
Holy or unholy shit.
There is down here what looks like an entryway into this chamber, and it is flanked by 2 creatures that look like they're about 9 feet tall and have jackals for heads, like jackal heads for heads. Which will require sanity rolls.
Sorry, are we all seeing this or just Alvin?
Anybody who goes into the alcove and takes a look at what's happening.
And I waved everyone over, right? So
yeah.
In my defense, I didn't know you were all going to have to roll sanity checks when I waved you over. It was not described. So sorry.
All right. So Eugene, Miles, and Gary. 6 points of sanity loss.
Does that trip someone's phobia?
It trips maybe Gary, maybe Eugene, and definitely Miles.
Well, I didn't have a phobia right now.
Yep. So I'm going to need Eugene and Gary to make intelligence rolls for me.
These are the intelligence rolls you want to fail, right?
Yep.
Sorry, who has to make these rolls?
Eugene and Gary. Poor Miles is already kind of lost his shit.
Game over, man.
All right. So, as you kind of look over this and you kind of glance and you see these figures with these animal heads, obviously guarding the door, like perhaps they are expecting trouble through that door. Miles and Eugene and Gary kind of like, kind of take a step back, let out a little gasp. Nothing that's going to carry through the size of this chamber. Gary drops his flashlight. Miles just goes blank. When you kind of like come to, Miles, you're not sure, you don't know where you are, you don't know why you're here. The last like day or so has just been wiped from your memory. And Eugene, these strange people, these new people, you signed up with them awfully easily. and they've led you pretty much straight to a cult of Nyarlathotep, almost like they knew it was here. Very obviously, they are not people to be trusted. And Alvin, since Evelyn's not back yet, you see the three of them kind of back up. You see Miles just kind of goes blank, and you see Eugene and Gary like kind of edging their way towards the exit.
So I kind of like do like a few finger snaps that hopefully won't be overheard. I'm like, guys, focus here. There's 5 of us. And then Alvin kind of like gets caught for a half second trying to count all the cultists. A lot of them. You just need to put this together. You need to stay quiet. Don't get caught. Right? You need to figure out what they're doing and get out of here. We'll be out of here in a jiffy. You just need to figure out what's going on.
When Gary had his bout of paranoia, you look down, had his realization, looked around, and just tried to make a few steps in the darkness to try to just fade out.
Okay.
That doesn't mean that what Alvin says won't reach him, but that's his first reflex to try to get in security was not to flee the place, but to try to get in the shadow.
So as Eugene starts to back away, you know, these people, and then you kind of like look at the darkness behind you. You're gonna look at these people, and they don't seem to be trying to grab you or anything. They don't seem to be making any hostile thing, and you kind of like, okay, deep breaths. The darkness is bad. There's safety in numbers. And you kind of snap out of it after like 30 seconds or so.
Okay. We definitely cannot fight all those people, but we must stop whatever is happening. Do you see someone that looks like a ringleader or someone leading the ritual?
Well, once we start talking about what's going on, Alvin is going to come back and he's looking for someone in charge, but he's also literally trying to count everyone. So he's going to have an accurate number at the end of this. They're not moving, right? They're all just chanting, pretty much staying in place.
Pretty much standing in place. There's some kneeling. There's some like proselytizing. Miles, you've kind of like snapped out of it. You don't remember like the last day leading up to this point. You don't know where you are. You know who these people are, but how you got here, beyond you. The last thing you probably clearly remember is talking to Dr. Ali Kafour like yesterday.
Sorry, what is going on here? Why are we here? Where are we? What the heck?
Shh. Quiet. We are trying to infiltrate these people, remember? We're just trying to get a lay of the land, and then we're going to go back and we're going to discuss what we saw. So help me here, Miles. We just need to count everyone and figure out who's in charge and figure out what they're doing. We cannot get caught. There's way too many of them. Chris, he didn't forget about the Dark Pharaoh stuff, right? He's not back to normal.
No, just like the last day or so, just everything leading up to where he is today.
So I try to focus everyone very quietly to pay attention to get information on everything we see.
Eugene is has picked up his rifle from his back and is like prepping it. We're under the Sphinx. This is a cult to. I'm not sure how they call it around here, but the crawling chaos. We were here to stop it. There's way more people than I expected, but they're probably trying to raise up Nitocris. How much did you? You seem lost, Miles. Did you lose some part of that?
Sorry, lose part of what?
Why we're here? What happened?
Last
You
thing I
seem lost.
remember is being at that library speaking to that gentleman.
Well, we were supposed to do the ritual of the eye, but we got this. We found that lots of them were coming here to do a ritual, and we came to stop them. Does that ring any bell to you?
No.
Well, they're currently doing the ritual, and we're gonna need to do something about it.
We seem to be greatly outnumbered.
All right. And
Could you?
as you guys are discussing this, you can see this this kind of pit in the center. Some of the cultists lead, like 3 people, obviously drugged, kind of like walking in a stupor as cultists like lead these people to this pit. The chanting kind of rises to a crescendo, and the people get pushed into what appears to be, from your vantage point, a pit full of leeches.
Oh God!
Is all this chanting make the entire room really loud? Are we likely to get caught by sound?
The size of the chamber and the echo, like very loud sounds are echoing, but the chamber is so large and there's so many bodies here to absorb the sound that conversation and stuff doesn't echo. So as long as you keep it to conversational, you probably won't be overheard. And as those bodies are thrown into the pit of leeches, the chanting seems to change.
Maybe we should take down the ringleader and try to make our way out.
Chris, what details can we make of the participants?
I can give you spot hidden rolls. Actually, a cult would work for this as well.
Can I catch up to them now?
Yes, absolutely you can.
Can I see what's going on?
You did succeed your sanity check, so yes.
Yes, you succeeded on your sanity check, so you're okay. But yes, as you guys went down the tunnel, just to bring Evelyn up to speed, you guys went down the tunnel. There was an area of like very wretched smell that caused everybody to like lose their stomach contents. Alvin stuck ahead a little bit, ran into somebody he thinks was a guard, came back to the party. Decided to continue forward, figuring this is like we've come this far, and found a branching path that leads to an alcove that overlooks this like grand chamber. It's probably a good 100 meters across. There's a bunch of cultists. Each one of the tokens, each one of the cultist tokens on the map represents like between 5 and 10 cultists. So there's easily like 100 or more cultists here, chanting in some language that Miles identified as related to Atlantis in some fashion. And then as you guys are discussing what to do, Miles kind of blanked out and lost an entire day, doesn't remember getting to this point. Gary and Eugene almost bolted and ran, but snapped to their senses. And 3 obviously drugged sacrificial victims were thrown into what appears to be a pit of leeches. And then everybody's kind of like taking a look around. So,
Leeches. Okay. Can I try to figure out what they're doing?
it is very obviously a ritual.
Yes. Can I get a little more specific with occult, maybe?
With Cthulhu Mythos.
Eugene has
Yeah, I
taken
had
out his rifle and is like checking the feasibility of shooting the ringleader.
Oof, 77. So no.
All right. So Alvin and Miles, you take a look around, and as this chanting kind of changes, a couple of things happen. The cultists all start to kind of like move into a circle, like around the pit, and start like linking arms, linking hands. The animal-headed things, which oddly Evelyn did not freak out about, all move to guard the door. And there are 4 of them.
There are 4 now? You said 2 before.
There were 2 that were kind of intermingled amongst the cultists.
Sorry, when you say door, like the entrance that we went through to get in here?
No, there's like the main entrance that all the cultists came through, where you guys would have walked through had you continued to follow the trail. You guys took the left branch, which led to a little alcove that overlooks everything. You guys are about 50 feet above where everything is happening.
If you remember, like Temple of Doom, you remember when Indy, Short Round, and the girl whose name I don't remember were kind of overlooking the entire temple area where they were ripping people's hearts out and lowering them into the pits? They're kind of looking down from an alcove. That's where we are.
All right. And as you guys continue to discuss things, the guy who appears to be the head priest, basically, as the chanting kind of reaches a crescendo, kind of like shoves, like effortlessly shoves the lid off of this sarcophagus. Kind of clatters to the ground. The chanting is starting to kind of like rise in pitch and volume. And you guys can all feel like an energy. Like the hairs on the back of your neck are starting to stand up.
I would like to get my rifle ready.
All right.
Should I stop the ritual leader? Do we wait to see what's coming? Yeah. Like I'm taking aim at the guy behind the altar, the guy who shoved the top of the sarcophagus.
Okay.
Taking aim at him. Not acting yet, but I feel that if we stop him, maybe we can stop the ritual. But we'll need to flee like as soon as one shot is thrown.
And as you
Okay, Chris, I will also draw my weapon by watching everyone who's drawing weapons, but
okay. And as you guys continue to kind of watch, like vaguely entranced by what's happening, two other cultists kind of like walk off from the far side from where you are, with a very obviously like bound female captive. And they like lead her
Does
up to the altar, up to the dais.
do we want to know what they're going to do to her, or do we want to stop them?
What are they doing? Says Alvin.
It's a ritual. I don't know what they're doing. They're trying to resurrect Nitocris. I don't know what they're doing.
Don't they need a woman for that?
Probably. Is the woman they're carrying pregnant?
Nope.
I think she's just gonna be a vessel, like being possessed by them. Do I stop the ritual master? Something's bad's gonna happen. I can't take that decision alone.
Of course, something's bad. Something bad is going to happen. They're a cult trying to bring back his queen.
Chris, what's the range?
Speed 11, about 55-ish meters.
Does the leader look human?
Make a spot hidden roll.
Nope.
Yes, Miles, he does appear to be human.
One of us should take the shot. I will take the shot.
You both go.
Fine. Chris, I shoot the guy. I'm going to try to do it. Can you, does it make a difference if you call a shot, like aim for the head, something like that, or like aim right for the mouth or the throat? So, one shot, one.
Not in standard Call of Cthulhu. Doesn't make any difference. Armor and stuff is always like all body.
Okay. I will take a shot. My shot would aim for the head or the mouth, though, or something like that.
All right.
Chris, I'm still sane, right? Alvin is still sane while this roll is happening, right?
More or less, yes.
He would not shoot the girl in case they missed the ritual leader, right?
It's up to you.
Chris, I forget. Do I click the weapon or do I click the skill in the combat tab?
On the combat tab, click the weapon.
It says I have to select the target.
If you just mouse over your target and hit T on your keyboard, it'll target him.
All right. Which one is he again? He's the guy. Sorry, you said click the weapon.
Yep.
It says unable to calculate distance between tokens.
Yeah, don't worry. I got it on my end. Okay. Perfect. There you go. So you should see in the Foundry chat, it should say roll firearms, rifle, shotgun, 70%. Oh, that is a regular success. So the shot rings out, and
Chris,
yes,
before you determine what is happening, I did ask both of them to take the shot, so I don't know if our other marksman is also going to be shooting at the same time.
Yeah, that was what I had in mind.
Yep.
So we shoot together.
Okay. Perfect. So go ahead and roll yours as well. So if you target him first, and you'll be all set.
Uh,
That shot is going to go wide.
yep.
Can you push a combat roll?
You can.
Did okay, no bonus dice because of aiming or
Sorry.
anything like that?
No.
Okay.
You can't push it. You could spend 18 luck if you want to succeed.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna spend the luck
Okay.
just because of what it is.
Right. So you can roll your damage for your weapon as well.
4d6. I don't know how it works.
Which weapon is it?
It wasn't put back on my sheet, so I don't know which one it is. We had the weapon. The rifle was given to me was one of the rifle that was brought back from China.
Oh, there you go. So it's a 30 at 6. 2d6 damage.
2d6.
2d6. Okay. So these two shots ring out, and you see the bullets flatten against the leader's flesh and fall to the ground. He does not seem to have suffered any ill effect from the bullets.
Okay, but does the ritual continue?
He stops momentarily, and he looks up at where the shots came from, and he smiles.
Chris, I don't have a rifle, so I don't know if 55 meters is too far for a pistol. But I'm going to take a shot at the girl.
Okay. One sec here.
And then I will never sleep again. Because I don't think there's a girl token, so I can't target her.
Right. Just target one of the cultists. That'll do the trick.
Can I target the closest one?
So if your range of 15 meters. It won't make too much of a difference. Basically, the maximum, the normal range for your pistol is 15 meters. So this would be, so you need an extreme success to even hit. So you just click
The multi-shots, yeah, the multi-shots doesn't give me more dice, right? It's just more damage, all of the other?
Yeah, it means you're firing off more shots, but each shot is with a penalty die. So less chance of hitting, but if you hit, you're firing 3 times, so, or up to 3 times.
So I have a penalty each time, but I get to do multiple shots.
Yep.
So potentially depending on what my percentage is, it might be more or less valuable.
Right. If you're up close, multi-shots are great. If you're far away, multi-shots suck.
Okay, single shot. Let's see what happens. I need extreme success.
You do.
So I need to roll like a 5% on that?
Probably about a 9%.
Yeah, no.
Okay. And bullet rings out.
Does his expression change when I target the woman?
No, it doesn't actually.
Fuck.
But that will is to actual combat rounds. Miles, you are up first. And you guys all notice that like the shots ring out. There's like a slight pause, and then the cultists do not stop chanting. But there is a slight pause as the leader looks up where you are and smiles.
Okay, I'm going to take another shot at the guy.
All right.
It's once again saying unable to calculate distance.
It's okay. I can do the distance on my end.
Sorry, did you already do it, or did I see roll firearms again? I wasn't sure if you reset it or what.
Yep, I got it. You're good.
How much luck do I need to spend?
12.
Screw it, I'll do it.
So if you left click on the result, you should get the pop-up menu.
I see 10s die.
Yep, just mouse down a little bit. There we go. Ooh, 10 damage. Let's get some quick math. All right. So again, that bullet flattens, but you also see this like shimmer around him that fades. Anybody who saw that can make a Cthulhu Mythos roll.
I assume we can all see it, or do you need a roll for that?
Nope. If you're watching, you can certainly do so.
Yep. I need to know when to start shuffling back down the... No, I don't make that.
Holy shit, Miles.
All right. So Miles and Eugene.
Wow. Eagle-eyed.
In various books, there's reference to a spell that is that will render human flesh, give it short-term immunity to damage. But it's like a ablative, so significant damage will overwhelm the protection. And you're pretty sure what you just witnessed was his protection from that spell dissipating. It's a handy little. It's a nice little spell called Flesh Ward.
I love it.
Alvin.
Yeah, I will shoot again. I don't have a ton of ability to arrange anyone, but hold on.
Right.
Nope. Chris, at the same time, and I don't know if I can do a skill at the same time, even if it's passive, what are the guards doing?
The guards are at, when their turn comes around, doing a thing.
Okay, perfect.
The guards are fairly slow. They are slightly faster than Evelyn.
Just rub it a little more, why don't you?
Right.
Everybody's faster than Evelyn.
Omar. Omar will. What will Omar do? I know what he'll do.
What about Eugene?
Eugene doesn't
He has
get
a
to go
gun
yet.
out. Really? Even with a gun, plus 50? Okay.
Oh, wait. Eugene is up. I forgot to click the gun on for him. So
I was
yes.
like, geez, this mother is fast.
Yeah. I forgot to
I'm
click
also
the
not
gun.
that fast as a person.
All right. Eugene, you are up.
I'm gonna say his protection spell is down and try to aim at him again.
All right.
Um,
Spend another 11 luck.
I'm gonna be luckless at the end of this.
For all of our loyal supporters who don't see our rolls, we are sucking.
Oh yeah, that damage roll is shit.
But that damage roll actually hit, like, it actually impacts his body. He kind of like stumbles back a bit, kind of like clutches his shoulder. But now it is his turn. But now there's actual damage on him. So now,
Does he get the smug look off his face?
he kind of like looks up, kind of like grimaces a bit, says something in that strange language. Although you do catch the word Nitocris. And as he does, he basically just reaches out his hand and basically draws a knife, reaches out and slits the throat of the female captive. And the blood seems to, it doesn't spray like you would think, but it seems to flow through the air onto the mummy in the sarcophagus.
This is the badness.
That will take us to Gary.
I need a better rifle.
Gary is a hand-to-hand guy, and Gary's like, "Are we going? Are we going?"
Did he roll an extreme success with a 32?
Yes, because he has a power of 165.
He stole a lot of power from other people.
Uh-huh.
Like lots.
He ate a bunch of people's souls. Evelyn.
Evelyn does not have a gun anymore. Which is probably best for everybody involved, really.
You can cast spells.
I don't think I have anything that can be cast quickly.
Anything can be cast quickly if you make a Cthulhu Mythos roll.
um. Yeah, I can try the barrier. But man, that's not going to go well.
Not sure the barrier would help us right now.
And we'd be stuck for
8 hours.
They would just
possibly,
wait on the
yeah.
other side of that.
Yep.
Maybe elder side?
Elder sign protect the
Yeah.
gateway.
Wouldn't
You
really
probably need to
protect us
make it
from
on the
any.
big glowy thing or on the sarcophagus, but from here,
See, nothing else that I have can be cast quickly.
Unless you succeeded a Cthulhu Mythos roll.
Yeah, my Cthulhu Mythos is not that high. It's only 26. Which, when I say it, feels awfully high. um, but no, I think like anything else, anything I have requires at least 5 minutes of chanting.
Yep.
Yeah, which is not going to be enough time. And I don't have a whistle for the Bayaki. I'm not going to sacrifice anyone.
Well, you can sacrifice one of the cultists.
I mean, they're planning on being sacrifices anyway. I don't have any way of killing one.
well, if we summon the hunting or we just designate someone as the sacrifice, you could designate the dude down there as a sacrifice, and he's gonna eat him.
To summon Dark Young, I would need a knife to make certain ritual cuts in the victim.
Oh yeah.
And for a dimensional shambler,
I was thinking of the hunting R's. That's the only one I had before.
I would need a dagger from a pure metal,
Which you do have.
You have that.
We do
You
which
have
have
it.
we do have. Um, it doesn't say how long it takes. Well, there's the usual 5 minutes, I think.
Yep. Summonings are always at
Yeah.
least 5 minutes. Or a successful Cthulhu Mythos roll.
which you
And
can
what
do.
happens if I fail?
Then it doesn't happen.
Okay. Well, I will try then.
Alrighty.
I will try to summon and bind a dimensional shambler.
Alright.
That's going to go so badly, guys.
Oh yeah, that's a terrible idea.
It's
It's
absolutely
awful.
a terrible idea.
It's awful, but you're crazy.
And kind of desperate to live, yeah. And I will need a specific command.
So Evelyn's gonna summon something?
Gonna try.
Not just something. She's not.
I
singing
doubt.
like
I doubt that it's
lemonade.
gonna work. So it's just the Cthulhu Mythos roll.
What command are you giving it?
Protect us from the cultists.
You are so wise.
Alright, go ahead and make your roll.
But she's not getting any more specific than that, which is probably going to be the bad thing if I happen to make the roll,
I mean,
which I
you could
don't
have
expect
said.
to
I mean, you could have said drink all the blood from the sacrifice. So it doesn't get onto the other thing, but
do. Oh my god!
you made it.
Alright.
Oh, that's where
One
the stuff
below.
gonna start.
Oh
Sorry,
man!
our fans. She just made that roll by 1 point.
Oh, that's did not expect that.
The important thing is she was successful.
She doesn't lose sanity and trigger an insanity at this point, right? Because she made that roll.
Dude, because she's not actually casting the spell, she's doing what's called improvised Cthulhu magic. She's just like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, and this thing manifests. I'll post it here to Foundry.
This is better.
Cute.
This is better than actually casting the spell. Holy fuck!
So this
Oof! That's
this thing manifests. Like it just seems to like Like Evelyn's concentrating. She's like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. And you see it almost get like willed into being from her consciousness. I am going to need everybody to give me a sanity roll.
Maybe I should have told it to protect me from me.
Alvin, you're like, I'm good.
It's not real. It's fine.
Eugene's like, okay.
That's how we
Yeah,
roll.
me
That's
not
how we
so
roll.
much.
Evelyn, not so much. Miles, you're like, oh.
I am
We just
terrified of my
rolled-
own power. All of you guys are fine.
We have put 6 bullets into this guy. We haven't rolled lower than a like freaking 50. We just rolled 1, 2, and 8. And Evelyn just
God. Straight to the sanity.
Evelyn loses 10 points of sanity.
Oh my god! Wow, out of my daily 8. I think that makes Evelyn an NPC now.
She's not at 0, but she needs extensive psychotherapy.
Well, daily, I can only lose 8.
Yes.
And I had already lost 1.
But you are already indefinitely insane.
Okay, so my 40 goes to a 30. No, it goes to a 29. Did I lose 10 or 11?
You lost 10.
10, okay. It goes to a 30. Holy crap.
Alright.
But she goes insane after she commands it, right?
Yeah, basically the commanding it is part of the summoning. So basically she's like, I need something to protect me, I need something to protect me, and her brain just kind of latches onto this thing that she read about in one of the books.
Yep.
Oh, let's see. Interesting. So yes, so this this thing arrives. So what exactly did you tell it to do again?
I said protect us from the cultists.
Protect us. Okay. I was just wondering whether you said us or me.
Nope.
It was us.
Are you gonna monkey's paws because those children of the sphinxes are not cultists?
What is the dimensional travelers? That's
Terrifying.
That's a dex of 50. All right. And the children of the Sphinx open the door and start running. Miles, what would you like to do?
I'm going to take another shot at the lead cultist.
Okay.
I think you might have to set it up for me.
Okay. There we go. You should be able to click it in the chat there.
I got a regular success.
Is it saying you needed a heart? Yeah, it should be. You did succeed. I don't know why it's saying you needed a heart success. The range is fine. No worries. You can click the damage on your weapon. That'll do. Regular success is enough. I don't know why it said hard success. Again, your bullet actually does find flesh and tissue. Um, just kind of a grazing shot, but definitely drew blood. That will take us to Alvin. What would Alvin like to do?
Alvin is going to reload his guns and cover the door. I'm expecting Anubis heads to show up, and I need to kill them.
All right. Eugene.
Can I notice that Evelyn has gone batshit insane?
Evelyn is staring at this thing that she summoned, and kind of like slack-jawed wonderment and basically relishing in her dark powers.
Okay. So I don't feel like she's gonna do something terrible just right now. Eventually, surely, but not right now.
Chris,
Right now, I'm busy staring.
Chris, I don't want to retcon anything. I just want to just make sure this demon just materialized next to us.
Yeah,
and Evelyn.
It seemed to be birthed forth from Evelyn's subconscious.
Right, but last time something was burst forth from Evelyn, it almost killed us all, right? So
Yep.
Is there anything she said, or is this like a giant monster has appeared in our midst?
No, she probably said something along the lines of like,
She's probably been muttering, protect us from the cultists, protect us from the cultists.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whether this thing is a response to that or not, you're not sure, but that's what she was muttering.
Can I try a Cthulhu Mythos to like evaluate what just happened?
You sure can.
See how I'm gonna react to that.
Mm.
I don't know what's up. I don't know what she did. I'm not sure we can see her much longer. Those Sphinx dude are coming, and I'm shooting at Omar. I need this to end. So Eugene is a bit like checking left, right. Okay, I need this to end, and he's gonna try to shoot Omar to have a windows to just flee. So need this to stop. Doesn't need luck this time.
All right. Omar is getting shot full of bullets, but remarkably still on his feet.
You refuse to go down.
He refuses to go down. On his turn, he is going to... again, he says something. You're not sure what. You do hear the words Natokris. And as he kind of like reaches into one of his wounds, kind of flings his blood into the pit of leeches, this unholy chorus of voices from that pit start not chanting per se, almost like a form of throat singing. This like unholy sound from this pit of leeches. And the surface of the pit of leeches turns black. Not dark, black. Gary. Gary's like, he'll join Alvin. He has no idea what exactly is going on. The dimensional shambler will grab. Who has the lowest luck?
Probably me.
44
I
currently.
with all the barely hitting shot, I'm 1-5.
27.
Oh, he gets 2 attacks. So. Who is it? So Eugene's at a 15 luck. Miles is at a 27. So it's going to grab the 2 of them, or it's going to try to. You can let it not. You can try to have it not grab you, if you don't want this this thing that Evelyn summoned grabbing a hold of you.
Chris, just as an FYI, I'm holding the door. If this thing starts to move against us, would that trigger my event, or did I just say the Anubis head specifically?
No, because you're kind of watching the door and it's kind of behind you, beside you. But yes, Eugene and Miles, you can let this thing grab you or not, your choice.
I don't know what's happening, so I'm gonna reflexively dodge. But
Okay.
yeah,
I will also dodge since I don't trust this thing.
Okay. So Miles can make a dodge roll. Oh, Miles is like, fuck no.
Eugene's is say what? And is getting grabbed.
All right. But it is going to grab Lafayette. So Eugene and the creature both disappear.
Yeah, he's getting me to safety.
Poor Evelyn.
Right. Evelyn.
Yep. Don't look at me. I don't have control of her right now. She is batshit right now. She is firmly Cthulhu'd. Oh,
Yeah.
92. That can't be good.
I think you were trying to summon something else in your insanity,
God, I hope
but
not.
you failed.
That would be for the best.
Yeah. Really, like reaching deep inside. Those of you that are still here, so Miles and Alvin, and Gary, you can hear Evelyn is starting to chant in a language very similar to what those cultists were chanting.
Am I? Okay. That's great. That's great. What could possibly go wrong?
Yeah. Her eyes kind of roll back in the back of her head.
Oh boy.
She starts to levitate ever so slightly off the ground.
Oh no!
That will take us to Miles.
Oh, no.
I'm sorry, Evelyn's chanting and now she's hovering in the air.
She's like levitating, like maybe like an inch or 2 off the ground.
You make it sound like it's not a big deal, Chris. Oh yeah, just like an inch or 2. It's fine.
So who was it? Sorry again, that vanished.
Eugene.
You're the creature, or is the shambler still there?
Nope, the creature disappeared as well.
Oh.
Oh, for crying out loud. I'm gonna shoot the priest again.
Okay.
Please finish him for me. I won't be able to.
Yeah, can you just set it up for me?
Yeah.
Well, it wouldn't be good to shoot Evelyn right now, I think. We gotta take the priest out.
Okay, there you go. You should be able to click it.
Just as far as we're concerned, Evelyn summoned a monster which completely destroyed or made one of our friends disappear and is now chanting again.
Uh-huh.
Uh,
Ooh, an extreme success. This'll probably do it on the priest.
Are you flippin' kidding me?
Oof. Yeah, 14 on 2d6 plus 12, but that is way more than the 7 hit points he had left.
I just saw the double ones and went, "Are you kidding?"
Yeah. The thing with any sort of impaling weapon, so like knives, daggers, ritual sacrifice knives, bullets, if you get an extreme success, they do the maximum damage for the dice plus the dice. So for 2d6 damage, an impale does 2d6 plus 12. So yeah, so you finally you're like, oh, fuck, like everything is going to shit here. The only thing you know for sure is things are getting worse. The priest did something. That bleach pit turned black. You're positive you saw something moving in it significantly bigger than a leech, and you just line up that shot and you take it and you drop him. When you do, there's like a screeching cry from inside that portal that he was in the process of opening. You don't see the full thing, but like a very large paw, almost like a lion's paw, kind of reaches out and kind of like sweeps around the area around that pit, hitting several cultists. Like this paw is probably about a good 30-40 feet across. And it just like blindly reaches out, swipes some cultists, and then pulls back into the pit as the pit kind of like seals over and goes, I was going to say goes dark, but goes inert. And with that, like chaos erupts down below. Alvin.
so just to be clear, the top guy drops. The black stuff, something comes out of it, swipes, takes out a ton of cultists, and now everyone's screaming?
Yes.
The floating blood. What happened to it?
It seems to have settled upon the mummy.
No. Is the girl dead?
Yes.
Well, shit. Okay. The way back, can I flash a light in that direction for us to be able to extricate ourselves, or
Yeah.
to see if there's giant pharaohs there?
There is definitely movement coming in your direction. They were probably about a good 50 feet below you and around a couple of corners, so it's going to take them some time to get up to where you are.
Chris, even if I was able to rappel down, which I'm not able to right now, it's 50 feet, run through this door, head out the door, I would just go back to the intersection where these two paths diverged.
Yep.
So the only way to get away from these Sphinx heads is to go through them.
If you guys leave right now, you do have probably about a 20-30 second lead on them. Because they're down below, so they have to kind of like come up, kind of like the switchback up to where the paths diverge. So they're kind of like below you and away from you. So they're in the process of running up to where the paths diverge, which is close to where you guys are. So if you leave right now, you'll have like a 20-30 second lead on them.
Not packs, grenades, or explosives with us this time.
No, you did not.
Wonderful. So I'm saying, let's get the hell out of here. And I start running. Oh, shit. She's behind me. She's completely crazy. I specifically put my arm under Evelyn, and I start pulling her towards me or with me down that tunnel.
Okay. She moves remarkably easily.
Because my feet aren't touching the floor.
Yeah, exactly.
Eugene, we won't worry about. Gary will follow. The Dimensional Shambler will come back.
I for one worry about Eugene, but
yeah, no, Eugene is safely in hell.
So he comes back. So out of the people who are left, who's got the low luck? Like Miles is.
He was in the 20s, wasn't he?
I think Miles is in the 20s.
For what?
Luck.
27.
Evelyn's at 44. Alvin's at 49. Oh, so it's going to come for Miles and Evelyn this time. So that thing like reappears. No sign of Eugene. And it reaches out towards Evelyn and Miles.
Considering Evelyn's state, am I reacting for her or is she reacting?
No, she like reaches out to it lovingly, like a mother.
What was that for?
That was its attempt to grab Miles.
And why does it say Alvin Sharp?
That's what I was wondering too. I'm like,
because I accidentally had Alvin's token selected.
Okay.
Miles, this creature reappears, it grabs Evelyn with one hand, reaches out towards you. You can try to dodge, but you will need to get an extreme success to get out of its way. It would have been awesome if you did that. So it will snag Miles and Evelyn and then disappear again. We'll get to like where folks ended up in a moment.
So that leaves Alvin alone in the tunnel?
Gary.
Oh, and Gary, right.
I'm not alone. I have my good friend Gary.
So it will basically on the next round it'll come back and try to grab Alvin and Gary. Would Alvin like to dodge, or is he just resigned to himself at this point?
Alvin's gonna try to dodge. He's still trying to be alive. As far as he knows, everyone went to hell.
Okay.
Literally.
I mean, that's fair.
We'd be technically protected from cultists there.
Yeah.
Exactly, right? There's no safer place than hell.
I mean,
Yeah,
you might have bring us back to
anything else.
You might have bring us back 10,000 before Christ in the past, too, like in the painting. Like, there's plenty of place where there's no cultists right now.
Well, she didn't say keep us. She didn't say keep us safe. Just safe from the cultists. So hell is perfectly a valid place. We're safe from the cultists. We're just burning.
Mm-hmm. Totally is.
I'm gonna learn from that. I'm not sure what I'm gonna learn from that, but I'm gonna learn something from that. How to pact ties with reality shambler.
So it does, Alvin, you do manage to dodge out of the way of this thing. It does grab Gary and drag him away.
How is that possible? I rolled a 49.
Because I rolled a 91.
Oh, okay, then absolutely.
So, and then like 10 seconds later, it reappears without Gary. It seems bound and determined to grab you as well.
Chris, I shoot it.
Okay. You are faster than it. It would actually be point blank range.
I just imagined the reality champion reacting to all this like a mother whose child doesn't want to eat his broccoli.
Oh, unfortunately, in 99, your gun jams.
Yay?
You're like, oh shit! And
It's coming for me now.
it's coming for you now. And then your gun jams.
I do that thing where you throw the gun at the assailant and it doesn't matter.
It is missing its attacks, assuming you're dodging. Well, you can only dodge one.
I can't dodge. I shot.
Oh, that's right too. So it does eventually pull you away to safety.
I heard the quotation marks when you said that.
I practice saying air quotes.
Honestly, that's one of his great talent. There's a few words that when he says them, I feel like shivers. And air quotes are somehow one of them.
Does it grab Gary at the same time?
You grabbed Gary last turn.
Oh. So Alvin was alone in the tunnel then.
Briefly. All of you come to on a cold, arid plateau. You're definitely not in Egypt anymore.
So this is Evelyn and I?
All of you.
We haven't cast a spell in Egypt yet.
We're gonna need to go back.
Sorry, a cold plateau.
A cold, arid plateau.
Can I try? Is it night?
It is night.
Can I try to look at the star and try to guess where the fuck we are?
If only there were, if only there were stars.
Oh no! 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 No!
Oh no!
No! No! No! No! No! No! No! That's not good. No! No! No!
And this
Usually look at the sky and start saying, "Oh no! 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 No!"
Is it just overcast? And that's why we can't see the stars?
Yeah, it's surely
Are
it's
we
just overcast.
under a tent?
it is. Obviously, it's overcast.
Oh. Whew.
Obviously,
It
that's why
must
you
be.
can't see the stars or the moon.
Uh-huh.
It's obviously why you can't see anything other than this plateau that you're on.
It's just gray. It's just gray. It's fine.
Oh.
Everything is not ruined.
But I think we'll have to call it there because I need to actually do some research.
Oh no!
But I will. Those of you with Cthulhu Mythos, can you give me a Cthulhu Mythos roll?
We're gonna have to explain that to Gary next game. You realize that we're gonna have to do that.
Chris,
Yes.
I asked out loud before the game ends, and Alvin asks, "Are we dead?"
I mean, that's a fair question. Oh, I have no idea. Oh, man.
Isn't critically failing a Cthulhu Mythos roll worse, and you're already crazy?
I don't know anymore.
Nope.
Evelyn doesn't know anything at this point.
Yeah, none of you have any idea where you are.
I mean, an idea, I think we're dead, but like the right idea, probably not.
Correct. But yes, I need to delve into some books now.
Oh, we delved into books, and this is where it got us, so don't delve too far.
But everybody can roll to recover luck points.
If
Take
we
it.
had luck, we wouldn't be on this plateau.
Oh, that's a great roll for Miles.
Holy shit, I gained some luck.
I managed to not gain any luck.
anything, Yorick.
Miles, wow.
I had 15 lucks and I didn't manage to get it.
Wow.
It's as bad as Tony, who I was down to like 8 luck and didn't get
Yeah.
any.
Right?
All right. So we'll pick this up next week.
Oops.
I mean,
Really?
In Cthulhu, you just trade problems for other things. You don't fix anything. You just trade up.
Just trading problems around, that's all.
I mean, on the
Just shuffling them.
on the
Shambling even.
on the plus side, Miles did drop the high priest of the cult before everything went sideways.
Yep.
So it could have been worse.
Good.
So
Adds up to that.
so one problem solved.
So you're saying this could have been worse.
This could have been worse. That thing could have whisked you away before you stopped him.
We're in
And the
bad-
ritual would have finished, and then we had something giant from that portal coming out.
Uh-huh. Yeah, the paw that started to reach through looked very similar to the actual paw of the Sphinx.
Yep. Not comfortable with that. Not at all.
Glad I didn't see that.
I did put some demolition back on that character, so I'm gonna find some grenade if we ever come out back to a place where they have a grenade.
But yes, incidentally, for those of you, in case you guys are not, like if you've never read Lovecraft or any of the mythos stories, this is it's an area called the Plateau of Leng.
Oh god.
Oh shit!
So
Oh no.
I have one Cthulhu compilation, and I haven't read it in several years, so this does not immediately ring a bell.
we played a game in the Pathfinder when that maze with Chaosium. It's a mix between Pathfinder and Call of Cthulhu. And the people from from Lang are a problem.
I think the Plateau of Leng is mentioned in maybe Shadow Out of Time, and I think the Mountains of Madness, maybe.
Yeah.
Like I said, I need to read some books, which seems fair.
It's in The Horror in the Museum and The Whisperer in Darkness.
Oh, The Whisper in Darkness. That's a good one. So we will pick this up next week. But on the plus side, you guys aren't in Egypt anymore.
We're not threatened by the cultists.
Not threatened by the cultists at all anymore. The cultists are not your problem.
Oh.
Darn, I just Googled Plateau of Leng. Uh-oh.
Yeah, I put the link in the Discord channel.
Yes.
All right. So yeah, and the fun part's going to be, how do you get home? So
Call another Uber.
yeah, maybe.
At least we're all together. It's not like when I was chucked into the past all by my lonesome.
That's true. At
Nobody
least you're
but
all
strange.
together.
Yeah, nothing but strange voices in my head to try to get me home.
All right. So yeah, we'll see everybody next week. We'll see most of you tomorrow for Forbidden Lands.
Yeah,
Yep.
take care, everybody.
Perfect. Have a good night,
Thanks.
folks.
Night, guys.
Glad to have heard all of you
Night.
tonight.